How's it going? Sorry, I had to go off camera for a second. So today, hopefully, we can finish the flooring. At least finish it as much as I'm able to. But you know, that's what's up. You know what? I didn't bring my viewfinder. I'll be right back. Keep going. Come on. Good girl. I'm grabbing Darcy a treat, just in case you're wondering, being off camera. Henry. Better get, boy. Okay, I'm headed back to the farm. Da da da. Do do do. Okay. Sorry about that. Gotta pull it up. Here we go. Hello. I had to go get my viewfinder just so you know why there was no action on screen for a moment. So, what I've managed to do today, which is basically not much, I got that board over here with the underneath the workbench. I got it situated. I didn't want to do that on stream because I knew it wasn't going to be very simple, and it wasn't. I was having to squat and grab a leg, like squat down and grab one of the legs and lift it like that, and then I slided that board over with my foot. It took a while, let's just say. But that will make the rest of this much more simple because I was thinking I would have to move the workbench, but thankfully I was able to just manhandle the situation, so to speak. So where should we start now? First, get this junk out of my way. Oop, oop, oop. to catch my breath. I was riding my bike just a few minutes before I started the stream. I had to go to the DPS station, our office. Here in Texas, we call it the DPS, or what most states call the DMV, we call DPS. But my license expired, so I had to go renew it. But that was true. Oh my God, I'm gonna. Oops. Whoops. Dropped my phone. But we're still good, it looks like. Okay. Yeah, my, whoa. I didn't know you could zoom in. Okay. I was a little too close. And hello, Mr. X. How you doing today? But to finish what I started to say earlier, my CDL expired a couple of years ago, and I went up there to DPS to renew it a couple of years ago, but there was a hold on my CDL. Awesome. My day's going pretty good too, because I got my learner's permit, which I know that sounds weird, right? So anyways, my license, my CDL got suspended a couple of years ago, but I wasn't aware of it. So I went to DPS to renew my CDL a couple of years ago, and that's when I was informed, hey, it's not eligible. So I was like, okay, I'll take a Class C license. And they were like, no, you can't do that either. And turns out I could have done it back then, but whenever they told me I couldn't get my CDL, I was like, well, this ID, the CDL, is expired, so I need an ID, like a valid ID, so let's go ahead and do that. And while I was down there, because I went up there like 5 times trying to manage my CDL situation, but whenever I went up there to just get a Texas ID, just so I would have a valid ID, one of the women that were helping me when I was trying to get my CDL again, she informed me, oh, hey, guess what? You can get your Class C license, which is just a normal everyday driver's license. But I was already there doing the freaking ID, so I was like, okay, that's good to know, but let's do this ID. I need an ID. And then I just kind of put it off for 2 years until today, where I had to apply for a first-time Texas driver's license, even though I had a Texas CDL. But yeah. So I put it off for like 2 years, which means I have to do a first-time driver's license here in Texas. And so I got my driver's permit today. I had to go down to the DPS, and I brought all my paperwork, and I took a written test, and I passed it, thankfully, because I haven't taken a test like that since I was like 19 years old. I've taken the CDL test when I was 21, but like a just straight up Class C license, I hadn't taken that test since I was like 19. And it was 30 questions, and you got to get 22 right to pass. I got 23 right. There was a few questions I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. But thankfully, I did end up passing it in my first try. So now I need to schedule a driving exam to get my driver's license. And then once I have my Class C license, I'm going to try to get my Class A license back. But I got to get Class C so that I can earn money to hire a freaking attorney, which is what I think I'm going to have to do to get my CDL back, which will cost at least $1,000. So I'm going to go back on the road for a little bit. Oh, what day was that? Today, like today, is when I went and got my learner's permit. And I'm pretty sure this is the first learner's permit I've ever had. Like, I don't think I had a learner's permit whenever I lived in Alabama. I think I just got my license. Like, I skipped the learner's permit part. So now at 33 years old, and I spent 8 years as an over-the-road truck driver, legally, I had a CDL Class A. I get my first driver's learner's permit. I don't know. I just think that's freaking hilarious. But, okay, so reach a dream. I'm trying, Mr. X, and I hope you reach your dreams as well. But something we're going to reach today, I hope, fingers crossed, but it's not my dream necessarily. It's a part of my dream, the mushroom farm business. But I did not finish this flooring yesterday. I left so I could go play Dungeons and Dragons. And it was a really, really good session. That Holos is the name of the campaign we're doing. It is like a lot of fun. Our DM yesterday, it was kind of a slow game, I guess you could say. I mean, I didn't feel that way, but I know other D&D players can feel that way whenever there's not a ton of dice rolling happening. But I don't mind those sessions. I honestly kind of prefer them. So we're doing the setup. Like, we got a big plan. We got to take the city back. Just an abridged version of the story. The king of Holos, he went missing, but his half-brother took over the throne, and he banned magic outright, like all magic in the entire city, including magical items like sunstone and mithril and different materials like that. And there was a ton of magic commerce in the city, as well as just magic users. So we're going to try to take the city back. And that requires a ton of setup, of course. The city has a population of 2.4 million. So, like, it's a big city. It's not like a little village. And it's in the middle of the desert, and it's surrounded by sandstorms. But the city of Holos itself is considered the pearl of the desert, and there's a massive aquifer underneath the city. So even though Holos is surrounded by desert, the city itself has agriculture and farming and gardens and parks. So it's like a really nice city that you wouldn't necessarily want to ban magic from and abandon, you know? So that's what we were doing yesterday. You know, we got to do a lot of setup. And the DM, you know, he's not going to give us the answers, or, you know, he's not going to hit the I win button. So in those sessions that don't have a ton of dice rolling, there is a ton of thinking, you know? You got to come up with your strategy. Like, who will we talk to? Where should we look for these resources? How can we find someone that can craft some of the materials we're going to need for our plan? And in a city of 2.4 million people, you got a lot of options, and you need to figure out what the best one is that you actually have a fighting chance. So yesterday was 3 hours of just like, let's go to this part of the city, let's go find this person, let's go get some gold and bribe these people, and because like we need magic material to do our plan, but magic materials have been outlawed, so we had to go find a hookup, like a connection, to get those materials. And if the guard, the new king, catches you doing this kind of stuff, he's not shy about just lobbing off your head. So we got to be careful about it. We have like a secret underground community that, trying to get the city back. So yeah, like I was saying, that's what we were doing yesterday. And the DM at the end of the session was saying, because it's the first time he's running this campaign, he said he was kind of worried whenever he was, writing the script or scripting the session or however they do it. I've never tried to DM before, so I don't know the process. But he was worried that we would get bored. But I feel like the whole group was very engaged the entire session. Like, we usually take a break at 8 p.m., a 10-minute break. But we did take a break, but it was like at 8:15 because we were so enwrapped in the story, enraptured. So shout out to my DM. You got a good campaign on your hands. Let me look at see if anyone's chit-chatting. It's just Mr. X. Man, ain't nobody here. I'm all alone. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That's the second time I've done that. Oh, hello, Mushroom Mister. Are you a carpenter? Not by trade, but I'm trying. Oh my God, Avenged Sevenfold in my chat? You haven't released a good album since City of Evil. Let's be real here. Someone made a post offending handicapped people, but I didn't reply. The comments were disabled. I get it. I get it. Reach your dreams. Man, I don't know any of these controls. I put in gel in my hair before I went to the DPS, but it's still staying out. Oh, not too bad. Maybe just a couple of rebels. I don't know how to. Are you ready for the most intense summer of your life? There you go. Vote on the poll. You got a poll. It's your responsibility to vote. Vote or die. That's what P. Diddy said in 2004. Oh my God. Hi, Mike. Hello, Mike Hawk. That's his real name, apparently, okay? People are ready. They want the intense summers. Me too. Da, 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 da. Okay, there we go. You want to hear something crazy? And I wouldn't expect most people to believe me what I'm about to say. I was in Texas all summer last year. I didn't go out of state except once. I went to California. But what most people won't believe is I straight up slept through freaking summer last year. Like, people were talking about how terrible the summer was last year here in Texas, and I'm around the DFW area, just so you know. But it was apparently really, really intense. But I did work graveyard shift, so I just straight up I slept through it. Like, my work schedule was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and I would usually go to bed around 10:30 to 11 a.m. and get up, around when the sun starts going down, except for on Tuesdays when I would go play D&D. So I missed it. I missed the whole summer, and I'm not complaining. Like, I wish I could do that again this year, but I no longer have a graveyard shift job. So, you're a general contractor by trade. I do not like the heat. I enjoy fall and winter. Same here. Like, I'm not crazy about winter, but I'll take it over, 100 plus degree days in the summer. And as far as fall, I love it. That's my favorite season, and I can tolerate spring, mainly because of all the beautiful flowers that are blooming. But I'm supposed to be working. There we go. Okay. What am I working on? I can't remember. There's these boards here. Maybe I was doing something with them. I'm addicted to nicotine. I was thinking about brad nailing these boards to the ground, but I don't want to accidentally create a spike strip trap, I know how to adjust the depth on the gun, but I feel more comfortable doing it on walls where I'm not going to walk on it. Yeah, I thought I had more boards than this. I do have a skill saw and some sawhorses, and also, doing this right? Yeah. I've got a couple of planks, I guess we could call it, or sheets of wood like this that I can cut to finish out the flooring. On New Year's Eve, I was kind of losing my mind a little bit, going a little bit crazy, just to be straight up with y'all. And I was trying to figure out a way to make a microphone stand for recording myself playing the piano as well as playing the guitar. And this is what I came up with. I nailed a couple of boards onto this bigger board, and then I used a hole saw to drill out something that the microphone arm could rest in. And it works. It works just fine. But the room I built it for is not big enough to need a microphone stand. Like I can just put the Blue Yeti mic on my computer desk, and my guitar amp and my piano are probably not even 5 feet away. So it's just, this was more of a fun project because, like I said, I was losing my mind, guys. I was going crazy. And when that happens, I find a project to, put my frustration in. And this is what got it that day. Oh, 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 oh. There it is. I think Mike Hunt got out of here because he said he was a general contractor by trade. And he probably saw me screwing around in this shed and was like, I just can't do it, man. You're on your own. Probably like Wings of Redemption. I can't take it no more. Oh man, is this my last board? There's no way. What? There's one more there. I got in too much of a cramped area. Thankfully, I was using a soft head hammer, so when I hit myself, it didn't actually hurt. Getting a drink. Okay. Move some stuff out of my way. Okay, my last board. I thought it would be able to cover a little bit more area than that. I guess I'm gonna have to go on a field trip. And this board is like the one that's actually in bad condition. That's okay. For now. Oh. Okay. Hello. Hi. How's it going? I ran out of boards. But this is what I got so far. It feels better to walk on than this does. These boards I got for $10. Hopefully I can go find some more for the same price. Or cheaper. Do I got any Rocky Horror Picture Show fans here? I'm a huge fan. What about Ugami, this weird YouTuber interface series? It was strange. I liked it though. But I'm going to go try to find some more flooring. I'll talk to y'all later.